Welcome, boys and girls, to the first episode of Procrastination Projects. My first procrastination is before your eyes. It is my childhood Go Kart dune buggy. I think it's actually considered a cart, but it's a Twister Hammerhead 150cc dune buggy Go Kart thingy. It used to be red, metallic red, if you can believe it. And this is kind of the state it's in. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things on this cart that do need fixing. There's one. That's lower on the list. But one of them that we're going to deal with today. Oh, what's the DOT for? Okay, so this is already... we're already under a first setback. It's not a big setback, though. I bought DOT3 brake fluid to put in that reservoir. I just took a look at the cap. I was like, I couldn't have imagined it would have been DOT4. The only difference really between, if you don't know, between DOT3 and DOT4 brake fluid, for all intents and purposes, is really the same compound. One's just more resistant to heat. It's got a higher boiling point. That's what's in here right now, apparently. But there's not much of it left in there, so I'm going to have to... Ooh, the cap's even loose. That worries me even more. So this thing's been sitting for 2 years at least. In a storage container, at least, so it's not as bad as it could be. I'd probably give up if it wasn't in a storage container. But, so this is one of the easy things we're going to do. We're just going to put some in. I'm probably not going to even bleed the lines because I'm lazy and I don't think there's any air in them. I don't think there's anything wrong with the fluid in the lines. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can mix DOT3 and DOT4 brake fluid. There's no problem with it. DOT5, however, you cannot mix. Do not mix DOT5 with DOT3 or any other DOT. It's got a silicone base, so it does not work well with others. Anyway, so we're gonna do that. There's a million other things, of course, as you can see. We're gonna need some new seats. Yeah. At least reupholster them. Maybe find some new ones. I don't know. I hope these belts are okay. These are some nice belts. I think they're alright. Just a little faded. Of course, new paint job. Oh my gosh. This keeps getting worse. But I got a lineup here of, just small things we're going to do before I even try to start this. Of course, we're going to do the old oil change. It's 10W40. If anybody's wondering if they have a Hammerhead 150, I'm pretty sure all the CCs take the same oil here. 10W40. Any of the Chinese or Taiwan clones of this. This is a Tongjiang engine, or TJ Powersports as it's also called. They're defunct now as far as I can tell. One thing I did before I didn't film this, right here's your air box. I cleaned out the air filter the other day. It was horribly full of clay, mud, and other nasty stuff. So I got that nice and clean. It's really simple. I'll just kind of walk you through it, I guess. All you need is a Phillips head screwdriver. There's four screws in your airbox. 2 down there. You can see them there. 1 there, 1 there. And all you do is just unscrew those. This whole assembly here will pop out, and your filters right in here. So it was actually kind of, the reason I'm going into detail about this is because it was a little difficult. There's not a whole lot of room here, as you can see, to get this thing out. So what I did was I removed this to about here, this piece right here to here, and then you can kind of get your fingers in there, at least I can, I have small hands, and then just work the filter out. Once the filter pops out in the box, you can take this and put it, down here, and then you can take the filter out, kind of through here or something. It's a lot easier to do it that way. I was sitting there thinking, like, am I gonna have to take this off? Am I gonna have to? It was not a lot of space, but that's the way I figured out how to do it somewhat with some success. One more thing I'm gonna do today, I think, is I got this duct tape. This was the only roll of duct tape they had at O'Reilly's. So I got it. It's kind of small. I think it'll be enough. What I'm going to do is, I'm pretty sure this is our air intake hose. It goes directly to the air box, and then the air box feeds it into the cart. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is. But as you can see, it has lots of holes. Would focus. It's got a lot of holes. So I'm going to tape those holes up. Probably not the smartest thing to do. I'm actually probably going to tape the whole hose. The best thing to do is to find a new hose. But I went online, and after probably 30 minutes of searching, I found one thing that kind of looked like this, but I didn't know if it would work. So I'm just going to see how long the tape holds up, and when that goes bad, well, I'll be forced to buy another hose or try to find one or use an hour to find it anyway. Bad news too. This is another setback that happened before I started filming. This guy, my wonderful shop vac, was outside in the rain and snow recently, so it is full of water. I think it's dead. It's got water all in it, and we're gonna at least have to wait for it to dry out, so I don't think it's gonna be able to be used tonight for this video. You might be saying, well, why did you need a shop vac? I mean, it's dirty, but who cares? Looks like crap anyways. The thing is, I was gonna do that spark plug change, which lives right here. You can see this is your spark plug. You got one spark plug, one cylinder. It lives right there, and it's dirty as heck in there. I mean, you probably can't see it in there, but it's pretty dirty, and I kind of wanted to clean it out, given that it's going directly into the cylinder and all. But it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to do that. I might just try to embarrass myself with this siphoning tool I got. This is gonna be for the oil, actually. I'll get into that in the oil section, but I might try to use it for the spark plug as well. Anyway, a couple more other quick things. I'm changing out the fuel filter. You know, if you know small engines, they usually have, you know, even lawnmowers and stuff, they have these little teeny fuel filters. I just picked up one of these up from Lowe's. The tubing here doesn't feel great, the fuel line, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna bust either. So I'm gonna say it's good. I'm just gonna be lazy and say it's good. Of course, we're gonna lube up the chain. I don't think I said that yet. We're gonna be using this to lube up chain, which is down there. As it's not really rolling well right now, probably gonna have to use more of this than I'd like just to get complete coverage of that chain, but it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. This guy is gonna be used during the oil part of this, so do not fret. I'll tell you what this is for. You'd be like, brake cleaner for the oil part. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You'll see what I'm talking about a little bit. I'm not crazy. Just wait. I already told you about the oil, spark plug, and I think that pretty much sums up what we're going to do today. So let's get to it. Okay, so first order of business, I hope you have a decent idea of what's going on here. So that's not that crazy. I'm going to do our spark plug first. It's very, very easy. It may seem daunting. As long as you have the right spark plug, that's all you need to worry about. I hope it's in focus for you, because I can't see that well. Make sure you got the right spark plug. Make sure it's gapped at the right gap. The gap for this one, I believe, was 0.025 to 0.03. So that's kind of the range of what you're looking at for this. And I believe, I'm not sure what the metric conversion is. Doesn't matter. Here's America. Okay. So I just told you in inches. Well, if you're one of those fags in another country and you don't like to throw dice at the wall when you're doing a when you're trying to find a system of measurement, I know what to tell you. Find a Google converter. So actually, I'm stupid. I'm just talking to you and not thinking. So I'm just going to go in there with my hand, find the threads, thread it in a couple times. Hopefully it's still in focus for you, but it's really simple as long as you can find the hole. And then you just thread it in until you feel a bit of resistance, which I just started to feel. Get your socket out, and actually I'm going to have to do this. It's a little tight. Get your socket out, make sure it's set to righty-tighty. Put your 5/8 or whatever you metric fags put, and just make sure it's snug. You don't want it crazy tight, just snug. That's good. We're snug in there with a jiggle, and then put your, oh, it's so dusty. Put your cap on the end, make sure it's in there pretty decent. Ooh, that feels good to me. Spark plug in. Simple as that, ladies and gents. If you need a better kind of idea of where this is on the cart, here's your back right tire, back passenger tire, and it is right in here behind the shock. If you're coming in at it, it's just right there on the block of the engine, right there, just right next to the head of the engine. I know when I'm looking at engines, they just look so complicated. It's like, where is everything? What is everything? And I will try to do my best to tell you what it is, where it is on the specific cart, because there's not a lot of info on this guy that I've found online. I've really had to kind of piece it together. I'm mostly running on the manual when I'm doing all this stuff. So, but don't worry about a torque spec. There's no torque spec on spark plugs, so don't worry. Just get it snug. And I'm not going to go over the parts of the engine with you. If somebody really wants me to, drop me a comment, and maybe I'll do it in a future video. But anyway, so that's the spark plug install. So after cutting that zip tie, I just realized how damn brittle this hose is. So I decided to pull out the camera just in case something hilarious happens. But if nothing happens, which I'm actually hoping nothing happens, but just in case it does, because this thing is not flexible at all. So actually, I'm gonna have to get a little creative with how I get this out of here. You might be saying, "Dude, you dumbass, you can undo it from the air box." I can actually. I tried to. There's a couple screws here that you're supposed to be able to undo and pull this thing off. I can't, and I also don't think, I'm not a dumbass. I took this off too. It's not doing it for me. I don't know. I guess I'm stupid. If you're smarter than me, why are you on this video? Just to watch me struggle? I just made the problem worse. Okay, let me see if I can get this out without breaking it. Come on, baby. Ooh. Hold together. Hold together. Oh, it just hit the camera in the face. Oh my gosh. Oh. Hopefully it's not too dusty for you guys. Sorry about that. I came right out and hit you in the face. I'm just happy it didn't completely split. Probably should take this throttle line off, but I don't feel like zip tying it back. I'm lazy. Anyway, honestly, most of this side of the hose looks at least not punctured. But I'm going to get some tape on this. Okay, so I got this thing taped up. It's not pretty. It's really not. And I'm fine with that because the rest of this card is pretty ugly. So this is a fine temporary fix, I think. I hope. I'm not going to regret this somehow. I think this was my only real option that would hold for the moment. I'm kind of liking the positioning of this right here. I don't know about you guys, but man, it's kind of... I guess you could bang your head on it if it hits really hard. I don't think so though. Maybe a little more flex. I don't know. Anyway, it's okay for now. I'm just going to leave it as is. It's taped up somewhat. It's holding. It's not broken in half. So count your blessings. So we're going to call that done. It's brake fluid time. All right. So I think in pretty much all of these Chinese, Taiwanese Go Karts, the reservoir is in the front for the brake fluid. I got the top off already. It's pretty simple. You screw the top. Hope you can do that. Hope you're okay with that. Oh no, he got ahead of me. I didn't see what he did. Oh wait. Stop being a soy boy. Okay. So we're gonna put DOT through brake fluid into DOT4 fluid. Should be fine. The 4 is gonna, I guess, I don't know. It'll be fine. And I'll use, it's really easy, especially on this cart. I'm just gonna use my little, I probably won't even stick it in there. I'm just gonna put this this funnel on top and use it to guide the thing in. So, okay, I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. If you can, it's really easy. So don't fret. Just pop the top. Your brake fluid with your funnel that you shouldn't drop like I did. I'm not gonna stick this in the cylinder, in the reservoir, whatever you call it. not going to stick it in there just because it's, you know, not the cleanest. And I don't want any solids getting in there if I can help it, because it will affect brake performance. But you just fill it up to the line. I think that might be the line there. You take a gander. No, it's not quite the line. Okay. Filling up to the line. Ooh. Ooh, to the max line. To the max. To the max. Oh, we did it. It is there. Success. And that's how you top off the brake fluid on a 2004 Twister Hammerhead and reinstall your little silicone cap. I think that's silicone. And the screw cap. You don't have tighter than me, because last time I barely touched it and it fell off. So that's that. Also, use gloves. This stuff is not good for your skin. It's just not. You'll thank me when you're not the mascot of Skin Cancer Awareness Month or whatever, if they have one of those. All right, you invertebrates, I'm gonna teach you how to do the lube. Laugh. Thank you. Appreciate that. First step in doing the lube is to get your bottle of lube. Get it ready. And that means you insert the straw, or I mean, you could just spray it on like you would a hairspray. But to get accurate, to get precise, you insert the straw. I don't think you're supposed to shake it. I'm gonna read just to make sure I'm giving you some sound. Oh, it says shake well. Some things say shake well in the automotive world. Some things say don't shake or you die. So you never know which one it's gonna be. So you shook pretty well. And then you get your chain. Now this guy doesn't like to roll very well. So what I'm going to do is try to get some total coverage on this chain. Honestly, do you see this chain? You see my dumbass about to lube this dirty ass chain? Alright, I am going to be right back. So I just hit it with some brake cleaner and some elbow grease. You know, that looks alright. Looks good. I think it's ready for some lube. So, hope you're ready. Very exciting stuff. There's a couple different ways to lube a chain, as far as I know. I'm not an expert. Okay, I've only seen it done a few times. One way is you constantly lube, like in this area. I think you can see that. I'm sorry if you can't. Kind of in this area where the chain meets the sprocket. And you apply constant lube on that area as somebody pushes it, or you both push it, and then the chain will rotate and get even lubrication. However, this thing is not so easy to move. So, especially from this position. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do method 2, called the lazy method. We waste some lube, but I don't care. I'm just going to kind of lube around each one of these pieces of chain, kind of in a circular motion, and then move it back and forth a little bit to try to give it complete coverage here. So here we go. Just get it good, and then there we go. Oh, I left my duct tape on there. So continue the process. And then move it a little bit. And then I'm going to spray it one more time and then move it backwards, because it's getting a little far away. I kind of want to keep this mess on one spot. So moving back. Ooh, I think it's already feeling better to me. Did I just run over? Okay, cool. Sorry that I was out of frame. That's actually looking pretty dang good. It's feeling like it's easier to move. So, I'm really liking that. Okay. Scoot you back a little bit more. I'm probably going to go once more around with a little bit more. Okay, so this is going to be the last of the simple stuff. Well, simple. I mean, it's all relatively simple, but as far as like real beginner stuff, this is going to be the last of it. So this is our fuel filter. And it's got to weasel its way back into place behind the petcock. Yes, the petcock, I said it. So first off, make sure, I think on almost every single fuel filter, it will give you an arrow on here. Don't know if you can see it. Maybe. If you can, there's an arrow right there. It's pointing down. Perfect. That's how I have it oriented, because this this part of the tubing, this part of the fuel line is going to connect directly into the carburetor over there. That's right. I just named something for you, even though I said I wouldn't. Right there, that's the carburetor, and it's got to go right there. But first, I am going to try my very best to get you a decent angle at this. So I think you can kind of see that. So I'm going to attach my fuel filter one-handed. It's quite the feat. Maybe not. Maybe I'll give up. I give up. Apologize for the bad angle. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'm pretty sure you will, unless you just fall, which is a possibility. So you get your fuel filter and you smash it into your fuel line. I already took the old one off. You do the same thing in reverse. I noticed I also did not tell you how to take out the spark plug. I hope that you kind of guessed that you do what I just did to install it, but in reverse. Oh yeah, like that sound. Okay, little teeny hole in my fuel line. Trying to get past that little teeny hole so I don't blow this thing up. Okay, so that's right there. Fuel filter attached to the fuel line on the petcock. Cool. Guess that's a vacuum one. Alright, I'll show you how to attach it to the carburetor now. I just noticed there was a little bit of chain lube on the camera. Nice. Can't hurt anything, I'm sure. While you do this, one thing you want to check for is to make sure, of course, that there's nothing in your fuel line. The fuel lines aren't too brittle. Mine are a little brittle, I'll be honest with you, but I think they'll hold. So it's pretty well lit, so you might be able to see this. You're trying to get the fuel line right there on that nipple on the carburetor. That's all I'm doing here. I'm explaining this to you because I realize that the camera angles are horrendous and you may not be able to see what I'm doing. Boom. We're in. So now you can see, hopefully, it's attached there. And we're ready. I think that's good. I also, one thing I didn't do, well, didn't show you guys, is this battery. I installed this battery. It's really easy, guys. I hope you can install battery. So, just so you guys understand, this isn't really supposed to be informative, as it is more of just a documentary for people who are interested, who may have a similar project, who, you know, want to get it off the ground. Maybe there's a very specific cart, or maybe they have something else and they're just like, hey, I want to, you know, watch a guy work on his engines and work on his projects and learn a thing or two. And honestly, I am a very, 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 very amateur mechanic. But all I've really done for this whole restoration, if you will, is read the manual, a couple forum posts. That's pretty much it. So, actually, I take that back. I've read the manual for the Twister Hammerhead, but I've also read manuals for very similar Taiwanese copies and other things like that to try to, because they're all so similar. I'm thinking, well, there's got to be some serious similarities here. And I felt like my manual was really short on this thing. There weren't a whole lot of pages to it. It was simple stuff like, well, here's oil change, here's spark plugs, here's the gap, here's, you know, fuel capacity, stuff like that. So I was like, there's got to be more to it. So I found a couple other carts that are very, very similar to this one. They're all GY6 copies. I believe that's the engine. It's a copy of a GY6 Honda engine. And the Chinese and Taiwanese, you know, they did what they did best. They got their hands on one, took it apart, and reverse engineered it, and made their own. And hey, I gotta hand it to them. They seem to have reverse engineered it, copied it, whatever you want to call it, decently well. Just to let you guys know, like here's my proof. It used to be that color. There used to be a like a little foam piece that went here, armrest, foam armrest, and it covered up this red. So you can see I'm not lying to you when I say it was pretty nice metallic red. This whole thing was, if you can believe it. Oh, here's a little bit more proof. A little bit more proof. So I think that pretty much wraps up the easy stuff. Now we move on to the hardest thing of the night, the oil change, which isn't going to be too hard, I hope. All right, I got 4 minutes left on this SD, and I got to show you an oil change. So here we go. This right here is your oil filler cap. The manual officially says, it's right here, in case you didn't see it. The manual here officially says to tilt the cart backwards to drain the oil. I said, that sounds silly. There has to be a better way than that. So I bought myself a siphon, and I'm going to try to, a little hand pump siphon, you saw it earlier. I'm going to try to stick that in that hole and see if I can get enough suction to suck out some oil, hopefully all of it, because tipping this cart sounds like a bad idea to me. I will try to show you how it goes. Okay, you are in a precarious position. By you, I mean this camera. So I hope you can still see. There's our oil filler cap. Gotta use the lingo. So I got my siphon. I got my bucket. There's my bucket. Saw it. I hope you saw it. And I'm going to see how this goes, because this, I can already tell this is quite the cheap siphon. It was like $5. So, okay. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, we got a little something. We'll see if I can get a little bit further in there. It's coming up the tube. It's not well. So I think what I need to do is make the way it travels a bit easier for it to travel through. So let's see if this works. Okay, I know you can't see what I'm doing, so I'm going to move you. Oh my gosh, this is not the way. I mean, this is the way to do it. I feel like there's no better way. So it's working though. We got suction. It's just taking a second to rebuild pressure in my hand thing. I think we'll be able to do it this way. It's just it's a bit of a hand workout. But if you see what I did, so if you're not getting enough suction here, I think I still am. If you're not getting enough suction here, make the path of resistance, rather than try to explain it that way. Use gravity to your advantage, not your disadvantage. Ooh, we're almost already out. Okay, so we just filled our tank up with oil. You should probably do this before. I'm not 100% sure. As I said, I'm an amateur mechanic. But there was an oil screw in here that I forgot about. I have no idea if oil is going to spurt from it or if there's just a little bit. But I'm just going to show you where it is. It is this nut right there. That big one right there on the bottom. That is the oil screen. I was going to take that out, hit it with some brake cleaner, make sure it looks good, and put it back on. So I just wanted to show you guys what that was. I don't know how this is going to go. Let's see what happens. For your viewing pleasure and my horror at how this may go. Ooh. Ooh, I don't like the way that feels. What the heck? I hope I got the right nut that I'm going to do in here. Okay, come on. Anyway, guys, thank you for... Oh, frick! Oh, no! Oh, shit. Oh, no. I swear I didn't mean to do this. Oh, God dang. Okay, so I had to document this disaster that occurred. Right. All the oil you just saw go in, and some dirty oil that I wasn't able to get out with the siphon, came out. The reason I'm documenting this, the reason I'm making this video, this section specifically, is so you don't repeat my mistakes, get frustrated, get pissed off, like I am. But it's okay, I've calmed down. I'm covered in oil. It's great. Anyway. GY6 engine. It has a fun little device called an oil screen. If you're familiar with motorcycles, you're familiar with this guy. So anyway, this is the correct way that it should go in and out of your engine. I did not know that. I'm learning that along with you. So these are the 3 parts. Just to let you know. You know, of course, you got your... Oh, and I wanted to mention, this guy right here, it'll drain your entire oil pan. The manual is on crack. It didn't even tell you. It just says tip. It says tip the Go Kart. I don't know why they were so dumb in writing that, but don't use a siphon. You don't need one. I wasted my money. Don't waste yours. Don't go tipping your twister hammerhead. Don't go tipping it on its side. Try to get the oil out. Okay, no. Don't do that. And be prepared for this to be spring-loaded and shoot out. Do this first. This is the first thing you should do with your oil change, okay? Listen to me here. The first thing you should do with your oil change is that big bolt that was up there. I showed you it. Drop that first. All your oil will come out. Clean off your screen. I didn't show you, but I hit it with some brake cleaner, multi-purpose cleaner, whatever you have. Hit it with that. Then reassemble it as it's supposed to go in. So the skinnier side of the spring should go there, and the screen should go there, to where it looks like this. And this should go back into your engine. Then you should add your motor oil. Okay? That's the process. I wanted to just, because I hadn't seen any videos on my exact cart, I wanted to make a video on it, just so you guys can see the locations, everything. Because yes, a GY6 engine is a GY6 engine, but I think you understand the purpose for this. Anyway, I got a lot to do. I got a lot to clean up. Thank you guys for watching. I hope the next one in the series goes a little better than this. We'll be painting it. We'll be doing some other fun stuff. I can't wait for a disaster to strike then. Thanks.